think there was 5. You had to have at least 7 people.
7 on you?
Yeah, 7 on 1 usually, sometimes more. Rolling?
We're rolling, dog.
Bret Hart. That's it, Bret Hart. I remember, oh man, this is a principal's office right here. You know, when I was in 5th grade, I spent more time in the principal's office than I did in the classroom.
Nice.
I got, you always congratulating me. Nice.
Good job, Joe.
This is the elementary school that I grew up in. So in 1986, we moved to Oak Park, and that's that way, because we're on 9th Avenue. I grew up on 6th Avenue and 33rd, 1986. Wow, 6 years old. I used to have to walk to school from, walking. Kids walking to school. I know. So we used to have to walk to school from 6th Avenue and 33rd, down 33rd, cut across over to the bridge, go over the bridge, and then come across that way. I remember getting so many fights over there. But this is Bret Hart. So this is the principal's office. I spent more time in this office than I could. I shouldn't even pass the 5th grade. To be honest with you, I didn't know how to read, didn't know how to write, didn't know how to speak English at this school, barely. I've been in countless fights here. Was picked on. I remember one time this kid poured milk on my head, and just out of nowhere. I didn't speak English, so they probably just looked at me like I was some weird kid, and I really didn't know how to take it. I don't know what to do because I had milk like dripping all over me. So I got up and looked at the kid, and he kind of like pushed me, and I remember just socking him in his jaw, and then his friend attacked me, and I got jumped by 2 kids, and then I ended up in the principal's office. Didn't know how to speak English, and I'm just sitting there waiting for my dad. My dad comes, and then we get around the corner, and then my dad beats my ass for getting into a fight at school. So I'm like, oh well, these 2 kids, ain't nothing compared to what my dad did to me. I remember getting my ass beat all the way up and down the street. I don't know how many times by my dad, because I used to get suspended so much here.
Is that the worst ass whooping you got was from your dad?
Here?
No, just in general.
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably as a kid, yeah, because my dad was a grown man. I was a kid. This is a school that actually found out that my dad was beating me. I remember being in school here, and I had to sit down in a chair, and I couldn't sit back. And I couldn't sit back because my back was full of belt marks because I got beat the night before. When I mean belt marks, I don't mean like one belt mark. Like my whole entire back was just welted, because if you hit a kid with a belt, it's gonna leave marks on his back. But I couldn't sit back. I remember that, and I didn't speak English. And I remember the teacher like trying to even push it, because back then, I don't know, teachers, it was okay to lay hands on you, and they pushed me up against the seat, and I couldn't sit back. And I remember one of them lifting up my shirt, and I remember facially, I can laugh about it now, but her facial expression was like, wow, what happened? And then I told her what happened in my broken English, and then I remember my parents walking in, and I remember I was scared, because I was like, why are my parents at school? Like, I'm supposed to be at school. And I remember the teacher telling my parents with the principal that that's not allowed, here in America. And then I remember getting home and getting my ass beat again because I told.
Fuck.
So I learned not to tell. So I don't really tell. But anyways, back to other things. That's just part of my childhood here at Bret Hart Elementary School. So I went to school here 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. In 5th grade, I was an absolute, when I mean absolute, like menace. We had fundraisers here, and I would steal jewelry, I would steal the chocolates. That's when I joined a gang when I was 10. Actually, I got initiated, which we should probably just walk over there where I was initiated. So back then, being in a gang, you would get initiated. I don't know if you guys, what being initiated means?
Yeah, jumped in.
You get jumped in, yeah. So you get jumped in by fellow gang members. So I was like, man, I guess violence is just a way of life. My dad beat me. He says he loves me. So I guess violence is just getting beat up. And then my new friends, they wanted to beat me. So I'm like, I guess, this is just all love. So I guess fighting is just love. So, you know, for many years, I just associated violence to love. So, as twisted as that is. Anyways, I remember the first time I got, you know, you cop with that fucking light on me. That shit tell bright. I mean, go ahead.
Should we turn it down? Can you turn the brightness down? Or
Oh no, you can't. It is what it is.
Oh,
That's
okay.
okay. As long as you can still see me. Anyways, around the corner was the first time that I got initiated. And I was 10, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but there was a fellow gang members that went to this school, and then my best friend at the time, me and him we were inseparable. We rode bikes together. We did everything together, and
Yeah.
he was the one that got me into it. I mean, I was fucking 10. Like, what do I know at 10 years old? Nothing. I knew that I didn't want to be at home, and I knew that I was a menace here. I was lost. I was in ESL classes, so English as a second language. So I was in there with people that mostly spoke Spanish. So guess what? I learned how to speak Spanish too. So I was like, oh, I guess another language I got to pick up: English, Spanish, Romanian.
Dang.
So around the corner is where I first got initiated. You know, I don't remember all of these fences and stuff being up.
They might have changed it.
Yeah. And I remember the neighborhood. And this is Franklin Boulevard right here. And then this is the street that I represented.
Franklin?
Well, we didn't call it Franklin, we called it Franklin. So just put an O. But yeah, this is it. So Yum Yum Donuts is down there. And then this away. So there was a store right here at this corner that we would always go to the store, steal candy. Just do a lot of things out here.
Yeah.
Been in plenty of fights around this corner as a kid. I guess I'm reminiscing. I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I was 10. And I'm trying to relive that moment when I was 10, but it's kind of hard because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
So just talking about being 10, going to Bret Hart, getting initiated, my fellow friends, and I really didn't think that was odd. It'd be like you and some of my current friends right now just partying and going outside and be like, all right, Joe, time to take an ass whooping. You ready?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. You know?
You're allowed to fight back, right?
Oh yeah, you better fight back. The whole purpose is to see if you can hang,
Yeah.
you know, and not run. Yeah, I don't remember these fences being here. I also don't remember this building. I don't know what the fuck this is. That looks fancy. We didn't have that. We definitely didn't have that.
They care about the schools now.
Well, this was in the 80s, so yeah, we didn't have no fences. We walked to school. Yep, that store ain't even there anymore.
Yeah.
There was a store, and then if you walk down this street, there's a bridge that you walked over. I remember one time I was walking with my friends over this bridge, and I seen my dad, and he was carrying cans because he'd pick up cans and he'd go dumpster diving and bring it home, and sometimes food, sometimes electronics, sometimes bikes, patrol cars. And I remember one time seeing him, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to see my dad carrying cans, and I just walked by and act like I didn't know him. I have that engraved in my head. And I also remember, here's a good thought. I remember one time my dad walking me home from school, and he gave me a piggyback ride. I guess I got one good thought about my dad. He gave me a piggyback ride, and he put me on his shoulder, and I remember him like running down, and I remember just holding on to his chin because I was scared to fall off. But I guess I do have a couple good memories of my dad. Look
That's
at me
cool.
smiling about my dad, not wanting to kill him.
How about that?
But yeah, so my first time I got initiated was right here. I was 10, and there was 10, 5, I think there was 5. You had to have at least 7 people.
7 on you?
Yeah, 7 on 1 usually, sometimes more. You get any more than that, they're gonna start hitting each other, and it is what it is.